after I finished Ender's Game, I was looking through my tablet trying to decide what to read next, and I realized that like, oh wait, they released One Piece Volume 106. So what ended up happening was that over the next day or so, I read through the entire thing. I am now basically up to date on One Piece. I can like technically just look up the chapters that have come out since then and read them whenever, but like I'm essentially like close enough to like being up to date. But very exciting to finally be in the position where like I can read a chapter, like take it in, process everything, really appreciate the artwork. Like I don't know if like the art has suddenly gotten like way better this saga in particular, or if I'm just like not rushing through it, trying to get to the end, trying to like go through all of this content so quickly because it did feel really different going to 106 after 105 because 105 kind of felt like kind of a down volume for me because you had like the post Wano stuff which was like kind of slow. Like I don't think they did a good job like setting up Egghead. Bonnie comes out of nowhere, they bring her on board, like she establishes that she's after Vegapunk, and then like okay, the pacing just seems off, right? But with Volume 106, right, when you actually get the plot going, when you actually like meet Vegapunk, you understand what Egghead Island's all about. When you get all of these deep lore dumps, like I really think this might end up being like a top tier arc for me, like purely because we're done like screwing around. Right, enough with like the filler content, enough of the stuff that doesn't matter with the overarching plot. Enough with like not setting up like the Reverie or whatever, and then having to wait like several years to get through Wano to see what happened after it. Like, we are in a position now where like the things that are happening in the wider world are directly affecting the primary characters, right? Shanks is on the move. Kids going to fight him. Like you have like the Navy making all these major moves. Kobe's been captured. Like Kuma escapes from Kamabaka. Like you have like all of this stuff, and the Straw Hats for the first time ever are right in the center of it. Right, it's no longer like just Luffy going on adventures. Like we have finally entered the final saga, and to me that's like extremely exciting. I was very surprised at the sheer amount of like weird stuff we were told during this arc. Purely because like Vegapunk knows so much about the world and the characters and stuff like that. We got some weird revelations about like Nico Robin and O'Hara and how the knowledge has been preserved by the giants of Elbaf, and Shanks is there. Like you get like I think he specifically says that the road poneglyph is on Elbaf. So that means they're gonna have to go there next, I think. Like I would be very surprised if Elbaf isn't the next island they go to or coming up in the near future. Right? But that would imply they're going up against Shanks now, which is like also something I've been like thinking about lately. Because like, what is like Shanks's actual goals? Like, what's his deal? Because like we never see him doing anything of importance, right? Like, until recently, he wasn't even going after One Piece, apparently. So like, what's the deal? What's his end game? Like, again, it seems like to me like the next emperor there'll be Luffy will be going after is Shanks, is what they're setting up here. And then like and then Blackbeard and then like Buggy will take the One Piece and become like king of the world. But like that's kind of my thinking at seeing how things will progress at this stage. But it really is just a matter of like how we get there because I have been shocked at just like the sheer amount of at just creative just developments we've been seeing over the past over this volume in particular. Like Stussy is like a clone of a character that was on Rox's ship. Like that seems to be a big deal. Weevil is finally like becoming relevant. Like again, there's something going on there with Whitebeard and it's ridiculous, right? Like it's becoming so convoluted, and it's taken like several volumes to get to this point. But like, yeah, like we are like this is truly where like the final saga begins, I think. And And yeah, like seeing characters like Rob Lucci come back, I'm kind of disappointed that Califa hasn't returned. But like yeah, Rob Lucci and and Kaku and Stussy, like again, seeing how that like played out, like seeing like Rob Lucci seriously think he had like a shot at taking on Luffy, someone he couldn't even beat the first time. Like Rob Lucci really thought he could do it, but no, like he got epically owned by like year fifth. Um, they formed an alliance and they're like dealing with like whatever's going on in Vegapunk Island. Like the way it looks to me is that like there's some insider on the island that's like doing something to like screw over Vegapunk. Like, again, I don't know where this is going. Like again, this plot is so convoluted. There's been so many like crazy revelations this volume that I can't even keep track of them all. And I read this last night, so I can't even really process it. Like right now, like this is the thing with One Piece right now is that it feels like you think more about like the overarching plot and like what's going on in the world than you do like what's actually happening to the characters now. And that seems to be like my issue with like well, I mean it's my issue. It's not like a criticism. It's like I can't seem to like wrap my head around like everything that's going on. Right? Like, the fake news bird, like Piers Morgan is like has like Vivi for some reason. Like Cobra is dead. Like Sabo did something. He's on the run or something. And again, like we got confirmation that like uh the swim fruit guy. What is his name? Like Pink? I don't remember. Like the Sigma male. That guy's in Impel Down, which kind of shocked me. Like people are still getting sent there. Like it's like it's like wow. There's definitely some interesting tidbits that have come out in this volume in particular, and I'm very anxious at seeing like where things develop going forward. Right, like what we can expect to see with with Egghead because it feels like this arc is going to go by with blazing speed. Considering how long it took to get through Wano, I imagine Oda is anxious to get through this arc as quickly as possible. Right? I don't know. That's the impression I get, seeing how quickly this has been paced and like I'm very curious to see just how things develop from here. But like, yeah, I'm really into it. This is Wano was great, but the thing that really gets me excited about Egghead is that like this is a new saga with a new focus, with a new overarching plot. Like I do think like well, we know that we're going to be going into like the deep lore, like secrets of One Piece, like the things we've been told since the very beginning, but haven't really been elaborated on. The origins of the Celestial Dragons. The significance of Vivi's ancestors leaving Marijoa and being the only one of the 20 kingdoms that did not. Oh yeah, that's the big thing that we learned this chapter. Again, we learned who the 20 kingdoms are fighting against. The ancient kingdom of 700 years ago. What was it, 700 or was it 900? They were fighting against this super advanced kingdom 900 years ago, and they won, and then they established the world government. So, what does this mean? Like, what is the significance of it? Like, whose side was? Again, there's definitely something there. We know something is there, but we don't necessarily know like how this all like what this all amounts to, right? Like again, like my impression going by like what I've seen is that like the Celestial Dragons like were originally good people or something, and then like they became corrupt over time. That's just kind of my impression, but like I imagine it's wrong, considering like some of the things we've seen like when it comes to like the elders and the things they've been willing to do and stuff like that. Like yeah, that's probably the wrong line of thought. That was like my genuine thought at one point, but again, like there's a lot going on here that we're gonna learn in like the next 5 or so volumes. It's gonna be insane seeing what Egghead comes up with, and I'm definitely very excited to see where the story goes from here.